The next morning, I arrived at my office feeling lighter than I had in months. Ryan's apology had changed nothing. The wounds were still there, but for the first time, they no longer controlled me. I had spent too much time thinking about what I lost. Now it was time to focus on what I still had: my future, my dreams, my life. Little did I know, fate was about to introduce me to someone who would change everything. Later that afternoon, I attended a charity gala hosted by one of our business partners. The ballroom sparkled with crystal chandeliers. Wealthy investors, celebrities, and executives filled the room. Usually, events like these bored me, but that night was different. As I stood near the balcony enjoying the quiet view of the city, a voice spoke behind me. "You look like someone who would rather be anywhere else." I turned around and found myself staring into warm brown eyes. The man smiled. Not because he wanted something from me, not because he recognized my wealth, but because he genuinely found the moment amusing. His name was Ethan. Unlike most people I met, Ethan didn't seem impressed by my title. He didn't ask about my company. He didn't ask about my money. He didn't ask about my connections. Instead, he asked about me, my favorite books, my hobbies, my dreams. Things nobody had cared to ask in a very long time. For hours, we talked, and for the first time since Ryan left me, I found myself smiling without forcing it. Over the next few weeks, Ethan and I became close friends. We met for coffee, walked through the city, shared stories about our lives. He never pressured me, never rushed me, never treated me like a trophy. He simply enjoyed being around me. And slowly, the walls around my heart began to fall. Unfortunately, Ryan noticed, news spreads quickly when you're a billionaire. He heard rumors about Ethan. He saw pictures of us together, and every new photo seemed to make him more miserable. For the first time, he realized I wasn't waiting for him. I wasn't sitting at home hoping he would come back. I was moving forward. Things weren't going well for Ryan and Sophia either. The relationship that started with excitement quickly turned into arguments. Sophia had loved the image Ryan presented, the ambitious, successful man. But now that his career was struggling, her interest began to disappear. Eventually, she left him, the same way he had left me. Suddenly, Ryan understood exactly how betrayal felt. One rainy evening, I was leaving work when I saw Ryan standing outside the building. He looked exhausted, defeated, almost like a completely different person. As I approached, he stepped forward. "Please," he said, "just give me 5 minutes." I hesitated, then nodded. Ryan looked directly into my eyes. "I still love you." I remained silent. He continued, "Leaving you was the biggest mistake of my life. Every day I regret it. Every single day." Rain poured around us as he spoke. His voice cracked with emotion. "Please give me another chance. I know I don't deserve it, but I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you." For a moment, I remembered the man I once loved, the man who made me laugh, the man who promised me forever. But then I remembered something else: the cafe, the humiliation, the way he looked at Sophia while breaking my heart, the choice he made. Because that's what it was, a choice. I took a deep breath. "Ryan, you didn't leave because you stopped loving me. You left because you thought someone else had more money." His eyes filled with tears, but I wasn't finished. "The moment you believed she could offer you a better life, you walked away. You showed me exactly who you are, and I believe you." Ryan's face fell. He finally understood. This wasn't a negotiation. This wasn't a second chance. This was goodbye, real goodbye, the kind that lasts forever. "I'm sorry," he whispered. I nodded. "I know." Then I turned around and walked away. As I entered my car, I expected to feel sadness. Instead, I felt peace. The chapter that had haunted me for months was finally over. Not because Ryan apologized, not because karma caught up with him, but because I finally chose myself. A few days later, Ethan invited me to dinner. Nothing extravagant, just a quiet restaurant overlooking the water. We laughed, shared stories, talked about our future, And when he looked at me, I saw something I hadn't seen in a very long time: honesty, respect, genuine love. Months passed. My company continued to grow. My confidence returned. And my relationship with Ethan became stronger every day. He never cared about my wealth, never cared about my status. He loved the woman behind the title, the woman Ryan never took the time to know. One evening, Ethan and I stood on the balcony of my penthouse overlooking the city lights. The wind gently moved my hair as I admired the skyline. Ethan reached for my hand. "You know," he said softly, "the best things in life usually arrive after the worst moments." I smiled, because he was right. Ryan leaving me had felt like the end of my world, but in reality, it was the beginning of a better one. If Ryan had stayed, I might never have discovered how strong I truly was. I might never have learned the value of self-respect. I might never have met Ethan. Sometimes people leave your life not to hurt you, but to make room for something better. And sometimes the greatest revenge isn't getting even, it's becoming happier than they ever imagined possible. As I looked at the city lights beside the man who truly loved me, I realized something. Ryan didn't lose a billionaire. He lost the woman who would have loved him forever, and that was worth far more than money. The end.